Hi, my name is Graeme Codrington, and this is the Tomorrow Today Global's review of 2020. And the fourth question that we want to ask in our review of 2020 is, how do we set up for 2021? You see, there's no real point in just looking back at 2020 and doing an encyclopedia entry for history purposes. The real purpose of looking back, of learning our lessons, is so that we can set ourselves up for success in the future. In essence, this is what our team at Tomorrow Today Global does all the time. We call ourselves futurists, but we're not futurists in that we can predict the future. Nobody can. What we do is we look for patterns, we look for cycles, we look for the lessons we need to learn from the past, and then help our clients to anticipate what's to come. So I think this question is vitally important. How do we set ourselves up for 2021? The first thing that we need to do is we need to anticipate disruption. We need to do this in two ways, actually. We need to anticipate more COVID disruption. What we've learned from 2020 is that COVID isn't going to go away anytime soon. COVID doesn't have a calendar. COVID's not going to get to New Year's Day and say, oh, okay, I was only here for a year, I'm gone now. No, COVID is in a process of working its way around the world. From our previous experience of pandemics, we know that there are normally three waves which come during the winter. So there's a northern hemisphere winter that gets us going. The second wave is during the second northern hemisphere winter. And then the third wave is the southern hemisphere winter after that. So that's only the middle of 2022. And the middle of 2021. And even with vaccines, we know that the vaccines are going to take many, many months, probably most of 2021 to roll out. So you've got to continue to realize that 2021 is going to be disrupted by COVID. The only difference is we're not surprised now, and we've got experience. We know how to deal with this, but continue to expect disruption. The second bit of disruption you have to continue to anticipate is all the other disruptions that were already rumbling towards us. Every conference you've been to for the last 5 years has warned you about the fourth industrial revolution and digital transformation. What's that? That's artificial intelligence, robotic automation, predictive analytics, machine learning, big data, blockchain. The list goes on and on and on, right? All of those are still coming towards us, and in fact, many of them have been accelerated. There's a lesson we can learn from 2020. Companies that had been delaying the introduction of digital transformation have now accelerated those. And the best example, I think, is Disney Plus, right? A few weeks ago, Disney announced that they are pretty much shifting their entire focus away from movie theaters into online streaming, making Disney Plus one of the hottest properties to sign up with a subscription for. You get the entire Disney back catalog, and then this pipeline of Star Wars and all sorts of new series and movies coming out. I can only think of Star Wars right now because I'm a Star Wars fanatic and very excited about this. That might have been something that Disney would have done over the course of the 2020s, slowly shifting to online and away from movie theaters. And it might have been in 2035 or 2040, we would have looked back nostalgically on movie theaters, realizing that everything's now streaming online on demand. They've accelerated that process, and COVID has done that for them. There's plenty of other examples in other industries. One of my clients in the mining industry had been trying to get smart contracting into their business for 2 years. They did it in 3 days just before lockdown. And IT picked up the speed, delivered it. They'll never go back again. And I think that there are a lot of accelerations going on right now, and that will be a huge theme of 2021. Then, of course, you can add geopolitical issues. You can add climate change and issues around sustainability, and the list goes on and on and on, right? All of these disruptors are still in the system, and you have to keep anticipating them. So what then is the response that we need? What then do we learn most from 2020? Well, I think the lesson is that the companies and the individuals who did best in 2020 are those that were most responsive to change. In a word, they were the most adaptable. And I really truly believe that that is the single biggest lesson we should take from our review of 2020 is be more adaptable. Be more adaptive in your systems, your processes, your structures. Be more responsive, agile, flexible, resilient, whatever words work best for you. We need creativity and innovation. We need to have distributed decision making, and we need more speed. We need more engagement. I'm just saying words now that are buzzwords in the corporate world, but all of them, I think, come together under this one big word of be more adaptable, be more responsive to change. That should be your strategy for 2021. The most important strategy for 2021 is not how to deal with more disruption, is how to respond to an increase in demand or a decrease in demand, how to respond to a disrupted supply chain. Yes, you need to have strategies for all of that. Yes, you have to have your budgets and targets and have a plan for what you're trying to achieve in 2021. But the most importantly, the top first priority item of your strategy for 2021 needs to be what you plan to do to become more responsive to change, to become more adaptable, to build adaptability into your DNA. If you do that, 2021 will be a much better year than 2020, and even better, 2022 through 2030, you'll have set yourself up for success for that. Because disruption is our new normal, there's no doubt about that. We've got one more review of 2020 to go, and we're going to be talking about what the lasting legacy of COVID might be. Join me for the last video of our review of 2020 from the Tomorrow Today Global team.